What? I don't know. What do? You call someone, I guess. Call a lawyer. What do you do in a situation like this? The show is starting now? Oh, man. Hello, folks. I'm sorry. You caught us at a really bad time. Apparently, it's a sting. There's a vice operation that's been going on. They've been watching us for months. They got Woody. They got Larry. They got me. It's not looking good, I gotta tell you. They brought in undercover. There's a sniper here. Paunch is riding on Godzilla. I mean, they're taking this really seriously, but hey, the show must go on, right? Hopefully Larry will get us some legal representation and, we can work this whole situation out. I mean, come on, guys. What's a little nudity between friends? Okay, well, I hope you're ready to bend an elbow. I have a drink on hand. I hope that you do. Let's get right to it because, as always, there is so very much to get to. The last couple weeks have been a whirlwind, I must say. I've been working a lot. I work at a comic book shop. This comic book shop just happened to be having its 50th anniversary sale, and well, when I wasn't busy waiting on customers, and many customers that we did have, I picked up a few things myself. What are those things? Oh, I can't wait to show you. I can't wait. But first. Oh, yeah, baby. That's the stuff. Right off the bat, I'm going to show you a DVD. Old guys like DVDs, right? Well, when they're old movies. This is an old movie. This is James Coburn in The President's Analyst. It's a film about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happenings. The President's Analyst is a 1967 American satirical black comedy film written and directed by Ted Flicker and starring James Coburn with cinematography by William A. Fraker and a musical score by Lalo Schifrin. The film has elements of political satire and science fiction, including themes concerning modern ethics and privacy, specifically the intrusion of the telecommunications monopoly working with the U.S. government into citizens' private lives, elements more relevant today than ever before. The President's Analyst was released theatrically on December 21st, 1967, and, although a commercial disappointment, the film was critically regarded for its witty script, dazzling photography, and great work from Coburn and his supporting cast. Smart, irreverent, and maybe just a little bit dangerous, this one comes highly recommended. Big Coburn fan, as you know, and if you didn't know, well, here's Our Man Flint. It's the soundtrack by Jerry Goldsmith, and that should prove it, right? This is the nicest copy they had. They had 4 copies, can you believe it? And this is in phenomenal shape. It's definitely a nice upgrade to my copy, which had been hanging on the wall for many years and kind of faded. The record got a little beaten up and stuff, but this is an 8.0. Which apparently means something, you know what I mean? As long as it doesn't skip, it's fine with me, I don't mind an old record, but I just happen to have a new record to show you as well. It's The Fall in Jimmy No, Clitheroe. This is a live show from 2013. As John Peel said, The Fall are the only band that matter, and so I'm glad to have some vinyl to add to the collection. This contains classics like Strychnine, Jet Plane, Mr. Pharmacist, I haven't done that one in a while, White Lightning, and my all-time favorite, Blindness, which is an absolute stomper. So yeah, this looks pretty good. Can't wait to play it. As soon as I get an amplifier and a few speakers. Soon, I'm telling you. But hey, this is Old Guys Who Like Old Comics, and as you can see, well, I have an absolute treasure trove of books to show you, and I am very excited to show them to you. Right off the bat, If you're an observant viewer of the channel, then you may have seen our most recent Happy Hour from the Archives, where I talk about Archie comics. And so you can bet that I was over the moon to pick up this copy of Betty and Veronica Annual. And, well, I got it for free because it's pretty much disintegrated. But that's all right. It's still good. I can put it back together mostly and read it once or twice. I mean, how often do you have the opportunity to read the first edition annual? These are all news stories. Of course they are. And I just flipped through it, and I was absolutely blown away. The beautiful artwork, the wonderful printing. That lovely basement odeur that you can only find in an old comic. Old comics, they are your best entertainment value. Speaking of old comics, here's Ginger. And yes, it's a coverless comic, but it is very old. And these have a tendency to go for a few bucks. So to be able to have a copy of it for myself and read it and enjoy it, well, hey, how could I possibly go wrong? And I gotta say, hey, Midge, you better look out, because there's a new gal in town that her name is Bunny. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. But I flipped through this and it was killing me. You know, it's just, the writing in here is phenomenal. You know, it was created by absolute professionals at the top of their craft, you know, who were hoping to write a movie or, you know, the great American novel or something. And that opportunity might not have come their way, but you can still enjoy their work in the pages of these books. Here's a copy of Laugh, number 219, and apparently Reggie is wearing Herb Tarlick's jacket. It's quite striking, I must say. Man, I wish stuff like that would come back in style. Then here's a copy of Archie's Madhouse. These are always loads of fun. And here's, you know, the Archie publisher trying to get hep. You know, we got some teeners there with the long hair and bell-bottoms and stuff like that. Ah, man. There was this band. What were their names? He looks exactly like that guy. I mean, you know, minus the other hand, of course. And then here is Laugh Comics, number 163. And this is quite a smart cover. It's always nice to see other folks from Riverdale. And this is a whole lot of teeners having a great time. Oh, look at them socializing. Hey, 6 feet apart there, kids. Come on, let's stay safe. And oh, wow, check out this beautiful Harry Lucy ad on the back. I nearly missed this. That would have been a terrible shame. And then we're going to get into some Marvels because, well, I don't show enough Marvels in DC. I love them. I got a closet full of them. But somehow within the past year or so, I've been buying a lot of independent stuff, a lot of early stuff. Well, I got some Marvels to show you. Here's Avengers number 149. And this is the gang versus Orca. When are they going to bring him into the MCU? Guess after Namor, huh? Wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense to bring Orca the man whale in before Namor. But who knows? You know, you might want to subvert those expectations. Speaking of subverting expectations, who is this guy? It's the Black Knight. And, well, he's been reanimated as a stone statue, and he kicks some ass. Apparently, he knocked everybody out. How many times can you get knocked out? You know what I mean? Like, seriously, all of these folks gotta have serious brain damage at this point in time. And then here is a book that I've had a number of times, and I'm pretty sure that I do have it, but maybe I don't. I didn't want to take a chance, not when it was so cheap. Gosh knows, it's Avengers number 162, and facing off against Ultron. And here's Wonder Man, and this is the last time we would see this costume, thankfully. So Ultron, he's not all that bad. And then here comes Daredevil. This is a nice little run of Daredevil comics that I was lucky enough to find. We begin with number 34, and Daredevil versus the Beetle. I don't know, man. I mean, I get it. Daredevil isn't, strong and, nearly as agile and whatnot as Spidey, but the Beetle? Surely he should be able to whomp that guy's ass. And it's the Animen. They're back. You knew they'd be back. How could they not be back? They're just that great. I'm a big fan. And then here's Daredevil number 144. And I, Murderer. And that is a very striking cover. Absolutely. Back in the days when the newsstand was a rotating art gallery, every week it would be a whole new wall of masterpieces competing for your hard-won change. Here's Daredevil number 46. That's a very interesting concept, and not the sort of thing that you would see on a Spidey or a Hulk. So very cool. Daredevil there in the camera lens versus the Jester. Another guy whose ass he should be able to thoroughly thump. And, if you don't like the profanity, I'm sorry. Oh, no, what have I done? Run, Woody, run! Run! Oh, I'm probably going to pay for that. At any rate, here's Daredevil 47. And this looks like a pretty compelling issue. Absolutely. One of those covers that paints a whole story with just a single image. And then, he's back. You knew it, he'd be back. Along with the, what are they? The Unimen? The Unmen? What the hell did I call them? I think they're the Unholy Three sometimes. Here comes Daredevil 48, and it's the Stilt Man. And what a bizarre character. Then here's Daredevil number 54. And this is a nice little cover. Is that Mr. Fear? Might be. And then there's Spidey, a very off-model Spidey, but Spidey nonetheless. And then here is Daredevil 56, and Death's Head came a-riding, and he's one of Daredevil's freakier opponents, absolutely. I remember him showing up a little bit later on in the game, maybe around issue 100 and something or other. And I was quite struck by him then and now. And then here's Daredevil being unmasked by Karen Page. I guess he should have seen that coming. And then here's number 58, and the Stuntmaster spins out. That is right, giving Daredevil a kick to the chops. And then here's Daredevil number 59. And it's the Torpedo. Torpedo apparently is really into fuchsia. But who could blame him? You want to stand out when you're a supervillain. Speaking of standing out, he's back again. He's back in town. This guy, can't get rid of him. Stilt Man. This is a very eye-catching cover. This would have definitely drawn your attention. From a distance on the newsstand, what's Daredevil up to now? Well, he's in a death march. Here is Daredevil 85. I was just thinking about this guy on the bus the other day. There are some power sets that are just not terribly practical. And a great big set of spinning blades on your arms, especially when you work out to make your arms really big, not practical at all. I mean, think about how many times you inadvertently scratch your nose in a day. I guess that's why he wears the helmet. Maybe he already did that. Ouch. And then we're going to keep going with Daredevil. Hey, why not? It's 88 and the Purple Man. You refused to serve me, Masked Man, so now you die. That's right. You'll probably get hit in the nuts with an ashtray to boot. Kilgrave is the Purple Man. And then moving on, we have some early John Byrne with Doomsday number 1. Number 1. I thought I had this one, but apparently all the covers are fairly generic, but very striking, especially for someone's early work. You can flip this open and immediately, those John Byrne hallmarks are there. This could very easily be Bethany Cobb from Iron Fist, just a few years in the future from this book. So yeah, I'm working on building this run just to see what it's all about. Why not? Old comics. They've never steered me wrong. And then I picked up this copy of Hulk 212 because it's the Constrictor. My whips are utterly unbreakable. They'll grow tighter and tighter until... Ooh. Yeah, gonna wonder how he walked after that. And then here's another random issue. This is Invaders. No, it's not. It's the Defenders, number 63. And this one looked compelling because not only is Black Goliath and the Stingray involved in this little conflict, but I'm not sure who this guy is. It's a Leopard Lad making the scene for the first time. As well as, what is this guy? The Human Torpedo? Yeah, a lot of weird characters in here. And Clea even. And, oh no, wait, that's Polaris and Havoc. Wow! Holy smokes, for 60 cents, how can you go wrong? That's cramming in a lot of characters. And then here is Baron Werewolves, Haunted Library. These are all new stories from the Haunted Library, so don't settle for anything less. Next up, it's Monster Hunters, number 2. Look out! They put that right at the top there, so you'd be like, wait a minute, what do I need to look out for? Hold on. Mom, look out! Put it back! Put it back! It's only 35 cents. Look out, Mom, look out. The funny thing about these Monster Hunters comics, one of the Charlton comics would have psychedelic monsters, Tom Sutton-esque, super detailed, weird, gory, freaky things. But these Monster Hunters, most of the time they were just sort of indistinct brown-black blobs. But, sure, it's still frightening enough. I mean, he's shooting at it. And then, here's some more Monster Hunters. And wow, the contrast couldn't be more different, huh? This is number 2. This is number 11. So yeah, boom. We're really moving and a grooving now, folks. I've been to parties like that. And then here's Pure Images, featuring Powerhouse. This is a very interesting book, Pure Images, because it's basically the internet on paper. What do I mean by that? Well, there's all sorts of article-y type things in here, and they have a tendency to focus on topics that we would be fascinated by, like the origin of Marvel Comics, and check out what they claim to be the original design of the Fantastic Four by Steve Ditko. Have you ever seen this? I know that I haven't. But that certainly changes things. Putting a mask on the Invisible Girl, why not? And you get some very striking 2-page interiors, as well as some very informative articles. That's the thing about the internet, is it has a tendency to disappear. Some of your favorite websites are there one day and gone the next. Whereas if you have the information in a nice comic book form, well, how can you go wrong? And this book also has its own little comic feature. This is Powerhouse. And I haven't read it myself. Usually I'm focused on the articles and the centerfold. Oh, wait, that's Playboy. Here's some original drafts of the Fantastic Four logo. So, yeah, these are always neat. I make it a point to pick these up anytime that I can, and you probably should too, if you enjoy reading. This one focuses on monsters. Who among us doesn't love monsters, huh? What a blast! Always love this Basil Gogos painting. And then what next? It's 13! And you know me, I'm a nut for that teen humor. And these are very mild compared to Archie, which, sometimes could be a little bit racy. These are sort of like your grandparents' version. But nonetheless, some very nice art, some very striking and clean composition on this cover would certainly stand out from a distance and catch the eye among more congested covers. Oh, wow. Well, hey, look, some more Archie snuck in. How did that happen, huh? But I had to buy this one because it's Archie meets Deliverance. Get up in them woods, boy. Oh, dear. And then there's a couple Josies. And I'm all about Josie pre-Pussycats. Pussycats are good. I like the Pussycats. But, these early Josies have a tendency to be more Josie-related. And then we get, when we're lucky, a little bit of pepper. And a little bit of pepper always spices things up. Am I right, folks? Yes, I'm right. And then here's some more Josie. And in our last episode, that was, what was it? That was Happy Hour. But we talked about Archie bringing a sitar to the beach. And here's this cat. He's going for it. By all means, they must have been giving these things away when you opened a bank account. Either that or a toaster. I'll take the sitar, man. How much money do I got to keep in this account? And then here's the Hanna-Barbera, the Flintstones meet Frankenstein and Dracula. All right. I don't own any Flintstone comics, I got to admit. But the premise, well, I had to get on board. Absolutely, because Frank, well, he looks very benevolent. And Drac, well, he looks a little too interested in Wilma. Fortunately, well, she's well armed. And I'm guessing she could make a pretty wicked crucifix out of those, too. So be well informed, kids, because you never know who's coming for you. And no one knows that better than little Abner. It's Al Cap's little Abner, and I don't really have any little Abner, so I made it a point to pick this one up, and this is super odd. Now, I could make some jokes. Yeah, I got jokes. But you just look at this. Make your own joke. Yeah. So, Al Cap, you have some things to answer for. Larry, you get that lawyer on the phone? Okay. And then, according to Stan Lee, Dick Ayers can do it all. He can draw and write a comic book. He can pick up your laundry from the laundromat. He can keep your wife busy when you're away on a business trip. That's Dick Ayers. Dr. Wonder! Yeah, that's right, folks. It's the Ayers Revolution, and it's coming right at you. Apparently, Dick, well, he did it all for Doc Wonder here, and he's bringing it your way for only $3. That seems like a great deal when you consider all the words on the back cover. I mean, right off the bat, you're clearly getting your money's worth, and then what's going on the inside? Oh, well. It's Doc Wonder. Why not? You'll wonder why you paid $2 for it. And then here's Gorgana's Ghoul Gallery. Speaking of, I wonder why I paid $2 for this, because it turns out these aren't pre-code reprints at all. These are like humorless chick tracts. I gotta say, I'm a little bummed out. I gotta be more selective in the future. Oh, a boob. Okay, well, I guess it was worth it. And then here's some 8-Ball. That's right. For mature readers. Oh, I guess I shouldn't have bought this, huh? It's the conclusion of like a velvet glove cast in iron. And I remember reading the beginning of that, being very struck by that tale, as well as a message to the people of the future. And if I was smart, I would have ordered some of this wonderful Dan Clowes merchandise, which is now worth a fortune, I'm sure. Amongst all the hip kids, you hip kids, ruining everything. And then here's Tales from the Crypt. It's 64 pages of vintage EC horror. This is a Gladstone reprint, if I'm not mistaken. It's number 5. And you get a lot of value in these books. Here's a nice little cover gallery. Here's Torpedo. And this is a book that I discovered when I was a young man, and I was very struck by it. I think that I read just a couple pages in a magazine somewhere, but it caught my eye. I made it a point to keep that eye open. And that eye, well, it found a copy right here. And here it is. These are quite nice. Black and white reprints, so you're getting it as it was created. Bam. And I talked about Torpedo in a previous Comics for Breakfast. Hey, they're screwballs and skirts, folks. They're dizzy dames. Oh, you know it. No, Moronica. The cows are the ones with the horns. Oh, my. And we're going to wrap things up with some Wally Wood. That's right, it's late period Wally Wood. It's his canon strip, and it's been collected by Eros. That is correct. Eros usually brings you really filthy porn, and, well, this is only semi-filthy. But hey, Wally, he loved to draw the boobies, didn't he? Caramba, he's a walking bomb! Canon, he was a man's man. Absolutely, this guy wasn't afraid to, well, strap a whole bunch of dynamite to himself. And he makes the scene in this 8-issue reprint series. I'm sorry, I got distracted. And so now I have 7 of 8 of these. So I'm really, really close to finishing my run. What? Will I do what? I'm guessing she will when Wally's involved. And then here is 7 of 8. So yeah, you know, it's anticlimactic. You know what I mean? I gotta know what's gonna happen. Alina, Chief, oh my God. That's right. It's Wally Wood's canon. So yeah. There it is, folks. Thank you for joining us on this potentially last episode of Having a Drink with Mink. I don't know. I might be in the clink. It might be in the clink with Mink. So who can say? Maybe these guys will go easy on me. Maybe if I spill my guts about Woody. Run, Woody, run! So cheers to you. Thank you for joining us on this episode, and I'll see you next time. Get up in them woods, boy.